Yo, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Lycan Studios. Today we're going to be taking a look at episode number 5. Real quick, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching. I've been getting all kinds of love and stuff, a couple haters every now and then, but it's all good. But anyways, if you guys want me to talk about something in particular after this little series is over, definitely let me know. But alright, let's jump into the leak review. So episode 5 begins with Bran going back in time. He wargs into a man so that he can stop the children of the forest from creating the Night King. Bran wants to warn them about what they will cause, but they gag and bound him to a tree. Bran realizes the man he warged into is the same man they turn into the Night King. Leaf begins to plunge the dragonglass into his chest. The Night King's necromancy powers are actually Bran's warging powers, but even more powerful with the dragonglass in him. Bran can't manage to come back out of his vision. His eyes stay white now that he is stuck in the past. Euron brings his prisoners outside to the Sept of Baelor to begin his public executions. Euron has Yara burned alive with wildfire while Theon strangles himself to death trying to save her. This was the same thing that the Mad King did to the Starks during Robert's rebellion. Jorah is beheaded. Euron sends his head to Daenerys. Jaime is forced to watch it all. Daenerys is infuriated when she finds out what Euron did. Against the advice of Jon and Tyrion, she flies with Drogon to King's Landing to kill Euron. After Daenerys has left for King's Landing, they receive word at Winterfell that the Night King has destroyed Carhold and he is likely heading towards the Dreadfort or Winterfell next. Jon is distraught because Dany has now taken Drogon to King's Landing. He has Winterfell's defenses prepared and every man, woman, and child armed with dragonglass and Valyrian steel weapons. Daenerys arrives over top of Blackwater Bay. She burns Euron's fleet immediately. She flies over the Red Keep and starts burning everything in sight. Daenerys is mostly in a blind rage due to Jorah's death. She burns most of the city down until she starts to hear the screams of innocent people being burned alive. Suddenly, she seems to snap out of her rage, so she lands Drogon and is shocked by the destruction that she has caused. Daenerys begins to walk through the Great Hall that is now completely destroyed. Snow begins to fall through the broken and burnt roof. Daenerys walks towards the Iron Throne that is now covered in snow. She reaches out to touch the thing that she has wanted her whole life, but Drogon begins to scream outside of the Great Hall. Daenerys realizes how much snow is falling in King's Landing. The Night King must be getting closer. She flies back to Winterfell, realizing that hundreds of thousands may be dead because of her. The last scene shows Euron leaving on an unmarked ship with Jaime and Qyburn. Euron knew Daenerys would be coming, so they hid underground of King's Landing with Jaime still in chains. And that wraps up episode 5's leak. So yeah, like everything has been pretty good up to this point. Last episode, we were starting to get into some things that we could not really talk out of as much, but this one, I feel like this is kind of where this theory and supposed leak kind of just throws me all off. This is kind of where I lose hope in it. So it obviously starts off with Bran going back in time. I do think that this will happen. I think this is probably how the Game of Thrones will actually end. I think he's first going to warg into a couple different people, which I've talked about in a couple videos back, so definitely check that out if you want to. I think he ends up like basically explaining why the Mad King went mad. He maybe goes back and kind of like talks to Bran the Builder and stuff, and then he ends up being the guy that they actually turn into the Night King. And I'm also not too sure if this is going to happen. I think it's either going to happen in the last episode or it's going to happen in like the third-ish episode. I kind of feel like they're going to wipe out the Night King first and then they're going to worry about Cersei later. I don't know if she's going to die before all this goes down or not. Definitely let me know what you guys think. But anyways, it basically just goes on to say like how he gets stabbed with the dragonglass, and then he's basically the Night King with his warging powers, now more powerful, and it's kind of like a necromancy type thing where he's bringing people back from the dead. Or not even really bringing back, but just raising the dead. You guys know what I mean. So then it flips back over to King's Landing and says that Euron basically starts his public executions. He burns Yara to death with wildfire. Theon strangles himself to death while trying to save her, which sounds like a Theon thing to do. Jorah is beheaded, which makes perfect sense because he wants to send it back to Daenerys. And then Jaime is forced to watch it all. I'm not too sure why he's forcing Jaime to watch it all. I feel like if he was in this position, he would just kill Jaime too, because Jorah would have been more important for him to keep alive than Jaime for sure. So if it all did play out this way, I could definitely see all this happening, maybe except the Jaime part, but I really don't think it's going to happen this way. I can't see Euron having all these people and then them all just dying, but you never know. You really never know with this show. So then it flips back over where Daenerys finds out that Jorah is dead because she was actually sent his head, and she goes off in a rage against Tyrion and Jon's advice. Now, I really could see this happening just because Jorah has been with her from the beginning, and she would just lose it, I'm sure. And obviously she has a dragon, so she's going to hop on him and just try to go pretty much destroy everything she can. She starts off with a fleet, which I think she would do. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But then it says she just kind of keeps burning everything, like through the Great Hall, through the Red Keep. She's just kind of burning everything. I don't really know if that would happen. Like, I could see her just completely raging, but she is very against killing innocent people, like very against it. So I'm not too sure if that would go down or not. So after realizing what she's done and how many people she's probably killed, she decides to land Drogon, and she ends up next to the Iron Throne. She goes out to touch it, but then Drogon starts screaming and stuff, and she basically ends up turning around and heading back to Winterfell. So it doesn't really say why Drogon would be screaming. I don't think Snow's going to bother a ferocious dragon, but maybe he was being attacked or something. I'm not too sure, but she decides to go back, just thinking about how many people probably just died. And then the last scene shows Euron leaving on an unmarked ship with Jaime and Qyburn. I'm still not exactly too sure why he would keep Jaime with him. That really doesn't make any sense, but maybe we'll find out in the next episode. I'm not too sure. It basically says that Euron knew Daenerys would be coming, so they hid underground of King's Landing with Jaime still in chains. This is just still getting a little bit of wishy-washiness for me, so I don't know. We'll definitely take a look at episode 6, but this is kind of where this leak started to become pretty fake to me. So anyways, we'll definitely check out episode 6. Hopefully you guys stay tuned for that video. The ending is pretty crazy, which you kind of can already be foreshadowing what's going to go down now, but we'll definitely talk about it. So I'll see you guys in episode 6. This has been Lycan Studios. We'll see you guys later. Peace.